Okay, so suppose everybody should be here. Do you have your 2 copies of your resume with you today? Yeah. All right. I hope that I remind around that everybody should come today because that we will have a lot of discussion in today's class. So you should have 2 resumes, and I already see that 6 group of the team, you already have your job advertisement there, poster there. So later on, I will let you introduce what the job that your company are going to offer to everybody, okay, to every interview, to every applicant. But before we start to talk, I want to tell you some the techniques how to do the interview, and that some you may find out some are very common sense and basic sense, but that is very important. So it's kind of remind you that you have to be you should pay attention on how to handle the interview. So now today we have 6 job posters, and each student can apply for 2 job opening application. So that means that we have 6, right? We have 6 job offered now. So each of you can choose the 2 jobs that you are interested in. Lindy, what's that? You are confused, you? You cannot find your group? What's going on here?
Is it covered?
It's covered, I guess. That I will confirm right now. Job fair will be promote the job, the candidate, what your company is searching for. So later on, we will spend around 20 minutes to let you have a job fair to look around what's the company's job responsibility and job description, and then send your resume to the target company. That means that you have 6 choice. So each of you have 2 choice, okay, but not in your company. Okay, you say, oh, I set up this job for in my company, and I will apply for the job. You cannot do that. Okay, so that means that you have 6. Actually, you have 5 to choose the 2. All right, all right. So the company, we have a group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right. So group 1, Delta. Where is the Delta? Right here. Shopee. Group 2. Over here. How about group 3, Texas Instrument? Okay. And then for Lead Healthcare. Okay. Let me, Okay. 5, Amazon. Amazon right here. And the group 6 is WT Microelectronics. Oh, okay. Everybody. So you see your poster over there, right? Okay. Now, so I will today the outcome. I will tell you how to do the screen interviews and the placement interviews, and also identify the information resources to the investigating the target employees. And also, I will explain how to prepare your interview and recognize how to control nonverbal message and how to fight with the interview fears. I believe everybody, including me, when you take the interview, you will be very, very nervous, right? I still remember my first job experience is that I feel very confident, just look like you look at me, but my leg is shaking a lot and the sweat of my hand. So I believe that everybody will meet a very similar situation, but different situation, but in a different situation. But remember, the eye contact is more important. You know, when you talk to somebody, you have to have eye contact with everyone, and smiling are very basic nonverbal language. All right. So, this way. You, come on. All right, then I will also, you also need to prepare the interview questions. You know, some are very common questions, and some are very, very, very tricky question, you know, but, you know, you should remember that different kind of the interview question. Some you can handle, some you may not handle. But if you cannot handle, how to respond that kind of the interview, okay, questions, and also how to avoid some of the behavior or the manners, and also write up some of the follow-up letters. After your interview, you also need to do the follow-up, okay? Even you feel that probably it might be I will be the backup interview, candidate. But remember, the chance is still available, right? Even you are not the first choice, but you might be the second choice. So sometimes you do the follow-up, they will think about, okay, this candidate is more what? Is more active and strong willing, to come to our company. They may say, okay, let's take the second one. Then you will get the job. So follow-up letters and message are important to let you have a chance, to get this job. Then we start to do two kinds of the job interview. And the first one is the screen interview. Can I ask anybody have an internship ready? Can you raise your hand? Okay. What is the first interview you have? Face-to-face or the phone interview? Phone interview. What kind of question they are asking both of you? What is the screaming question that they propose and ask you?
Well, why would you want to apply? And what do you want to do in the future? And how does it align with your internship role?
Uh-huh.
Sort of. And your past experience.
Okay. So how long you spend to talk with that interviewers?
About like 30 minutes.
Phone interview takes 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
We do a very solid phone interview, so we try to make sure that we don't waste any supervisor's time to interview with low quality of candidates.
I see. Wow, 30 minutes. It's a really long interview.
Yeah.
Especially for the screening interview by phone. How about you?
Focus on their reaction and make sure they will answer our question very fast because we need the one that can have a really quick mind.
Okay.
Yeah, so I only spend like 15 to 20 minutes because I have so many phones.
Oh, you have many phones interview. Okay. Okay. So probably took around the 15 minutes, but 30 is not really the normal the phone interview. But around the 15, to know who you are and the lesson, how you respond to the to the people and what's your interest in this company, and it may make sense that if you are qualified or interested about this job, they will give you the chance to take the interview. Okay, so the phone interview. But before they call the phone interview, do you know why they decide to call you? Why they decide to call you?
Because your things on your resume fits our job position.
Right, correctly. Because of your resume, okay? The resume, all the experience, education, and your career objective are very clear. They think that the company will think that, okay, you are very fitting to this job. So they will call you and to see if that you are okay or you are still interested to doing this job. Okay, so that is the way we do the phone interview as a first step. Then will be the hiring interview. So that will promise the candidates select from the screen interview are invited to the interview. So probably you will have a one-to-one interview, or will be the sequential and the group interview. And the other one we call the stress interview. Sometimes stress interview is not a really normal way, to do the interview because you will have an interview is very nervous and stressful and feel unfriendly. So they have to take this as a consideration if you do the stress interview. the way they do the stress interview is that they want to see if you can handle the high stress, okay? Do you still remember the experience that you come to our IHRD, the interview? Stressful? Huh?
That was stress interview?
No, the oral interview, you do remember? 5 was a group interview, correctly? Stressful or not stressful? Not stressful. Okay, now I know you say not stressful, but I still remember everybody it's very stressful. At the moment, you can see some of the hands shaking until the last moment, they're still shaking, okay? But nobody have a smile. So I can recognize that you are very, very high stress at the moment, okay? Now you may see that it's a big joke, but yeah, it's a joke. I know you see the other junior to take the interview and they looks like, oh, why they are so stressful, right? But think about, recall back, then the time that you took interview are very stressful, okay? But I think that would be good practice that you do the different, the interview and how to prepare yourself and how to respond to the interviewers. That will be, is a very good very good practice. Okay, then, so if we start to have an interview, we also need to have a support material. And the first one is called the resume, right? And the phone numbers of a possible reference, and also have a notepad and the calendar. So I think that I highlight the important message here is to help you that what you need to know about yourself. Know about your strengths and weakness. Do you remember that I told you last time that you have to think about 3 or 4 points of your strengths and weakness? Is there anyone done about this assignment? I just let you go back home, right, to think about your strengths and your weakness. Okay, so tell me, Ken, what's your strengths? Tell me one thing about your strengths.
I can take a lot of stress in different circumstances.
So you think in your strengths that you can take a lot of the stress, and then that's your strengths.
I can undertake multiple tasks at the same time and deal with it.
Okay, so you can deal with the stress that kind of situation. Okay, anything, Jessica? JC.
If I'm applying an HR job, my strength is I have HR experience and professional HR ability. I also have the great communication skills with classmates or my teammates or even a coworker in my company.
Okay, all right. So that will be your strengths, right? So you can point a couple of the strengths that you have. How about the weakness? Maggie.
For the job, then I think because I don't have like HR related experience, so it would be my weakness.
Okay, that might be the very objective, the answer that I may not have HR related job experience, but I want to get the job because I need, you will say, but I want to do something. So you may think about that, how to switch from weakness become strength. Remember that. Not let your weakness become weakness as well. Try to make your weakness and become strength. So I may say, I am very easy. I'm easily nervous at any kind of a situation. So how can I become the strength? How can I become this weakness, become the strength? How can you answer that?
So I will be really careful and make sure that I won't do anything in a strange situation.
Okay, so you will say that I will do something to prevent that the nervous situation, right?
So I make sure I will do a lot of work before that. So make sure I won't be so
Well prepared. Yes, well prepared. So try to switch from the weakness to the strengths. But I will show that is the one, and remember, when we talk about the strengths, I want you to list the 3 points, right? To write into your cover letter. I know I didn't talk about the cover letter yet, but in the second paragraph of your cover letter, the paragraph will cover what your strengths are. So you should talk about not only a personality, what kind of experience, education, something. So that will can be listed in your strengths in the second paragraph of your cover letter. I will talk about it later. And the keys to do the job description, and how to meet the requirement. Remember, in the resume, there is the first section is called the career objective, right? Check your resume if you have including this paragraph in the beginning. If not, I remember some of you did that, some of you are not, but remember the career objective is that we have to link with the company's job description and how to meet those requirements. Okay, you may say, okay, so it means that you have to customize for each of the job applicants. Okay, you need to write something in the career objective and to fit to the company job description. Do you know why you need to do that? Because they get a lot of the resume. Actually, they don't remember what kind of the job that you are looking for. Okay, so it's kind of reminder note to let the HR representative to check. Okay, this candidate, this applicant is going to apply the kind of the job. So every time you apply for a new job, you need to do that. Okay, to revise a little bit about your career objective. Okay, if you do not have a career objective, then the one will be the one copy to all of different kind of the job. They don't feel, I think the company will not feel very, how to say that, they don't feel that you have a high interest about the job. They don't feel you are really like this job. So if you have one paragraph talk about the career objective, that will help you that, okay, I know what kind of job you are looking for and that you are interested in this job, okay? So that will be the job description. And also, if caught off the guard, ask if you can call back for the telephone in your office. Sometimes they will, can I have your, the email or the phone I can contact? I will call back to know about the outcome. Especially if you have a 2 job offer and you are dilemma to choose, what job A or job B, and you want to confirm, but maybe job A you are more interested in, right? But they didn't, call you back. Then you have contact information. Then will be easy to call back to see when, and I am really high interested. Can I know I can get the job offer, or I can have another chance to take the interview, okay? And also be prepared to ask your own question. This is very tricky, but very important. Every company, if they have no question to ask you, they will ask you, do you have the question to ask me? Okay? So that is very common question. What kind of the question you want to ask? Okay, Tiffany, what do you ask them? What kind of the question do you ask them?
Well, for example, how does their past experience align with the job that he's applying right now? Or does he has any other similar experience that could help him in success in this role?
So you are going to ask this question to them? My question is that you, interviewees, the interviewer will ask you, Do you have any question to ask us?
Most of the time I will ask more about the job details, but sometimes I don't.
Yeah, because you are not in, right?
Yeah.
So you may not ask a question, okay?
Really you don't really have that many questions.
Okay. I'm talking, I look at you and you have to tell me.
I think I'll ask, like, why they have this job opening. For example, like, there used to be some person doing this job, and why they leave, like, why have this new opening? Because is it because the person leave the company or they have promotion? So like you can understand what's the reason. Like, for example, if it's a person that leave the job, then you can ask more, what are the reasons, so you can understand more about company culture. And when you say that you have this new opening because the person is promotion, then you know that you actually have a career. Okay.
I see. So you will ask them why this position is open. Do you think they will tell you the truth? No, they will say, yeah, why they're leaving or they promoted something.
Actually ask, and then I think it's about the way you ask and how you phrase your word, and also your tone. Then also you can tell from their expression.
Oh, their face expression. Okay.
Things you can observe and then get information from.
Yeah, probably. But sometimes yes, and sometimes they hesitate to tell you the truth, right? But the one question don't ask is, do we need to, over extra hour working every day? This is so silly question. Don't ask, is it common that I need to work over hours every day? Or do you have to, get the assignment to abroad frequently, something? You may ask these things, but it's not in the question. When they ask you the question, and you may not ask this question. The question, remember, that should be more related to this job, the company future, the planning, and what is their strategy, what's the target, and what is the expectation for this job position. The job, right, is here, but you can, because you are not in, right, you are not on board, so you may ask them, ask that the interviewers that what kind of the expectation you want me to, to do this job. So you can ask the question is more related to this job, okay? Don't ask the question more personal related. Over job, some kind of a question. So remember that you should ask that the very, related to the job question, but don't ask, hi, how about the salary? How much I can pay per month? Don't do that. I still remember one of my it's not my RA, it's my student. I am searching for the RA job. The question that the RA asking is not about the job, what I'm going to do. It's ask about how much I can get it every month. Okay, so remember, salary is important, but that may not be asked in the first interview. You can ask this question in the second interview because some of the salary that you can negotiate with, right? Okay, that is the reality. So I still want to know about the salary, and you have to prepare how much that you want to earn this. So you can negotiate with the salary in the second interview. But in the first interview, don't ask about the money and the hours of you working. I know you care about that. I think everybody care about the job, the salary and how often I need to go to overseas or do something that you don't expect it. But in the first interview, you cannot ask this question. Then prepare for the interview. The one you have to study the job description. I know that is very common sense. When you apply this job, you always read the job description about this job, right, in this company. But I know most of company may not tell you very detailed. right? They maybe use only 1 or 2 sentences to cover, but sometimes the job description is not really the job that you did.
So, sir, can I ask him about like what kind of about this position, like their daily basis, like what they're going on, like in the morning what they do and afternoon what they do, so I can know that maybe they have some overtime.
Actually, the answer is not quite appropriate because not the job you are doing not very routine. So you can ask that, what is the most challenge to do this job? Okay, you may say, okay, what I'm going to do for the daily basis, but you can ask that, I'm wondering what is the most challenging job that I have to do, and I expect that will be the very challenge to me, and I want to see if I can handle this kind of a situation. Okay, so when you have an open question, okay, you may ask about more job detail question, all right, for the open question. Okay, if they ask you, do you have any question about this job, then I think that is appropriate to ask more about job description and what I'm going to do this job and what is your expectation to do this job, okay? And also practice answer to typical interview question, okay? Expect to explain problem area on your resume. Build the interview experience with less important job first. So that is all the, when we do the interview, the practice answers for typical question is that I can help you today because that is very common question that you need to know and well prepared, all right? So then now, okay, so interview tips will be, before you go, I think in the last question, but it's really difficult to control. Okay, research the organization, job, career field in user career directories. Interest side, talk to the people in your network about the company. I think it's important to ask that through the LinkedIn, okay, or other your friends to see if that any people in that company, you can ask some very typical question or some the question you really want to know about the company. You can get the resources first and the information to know about that company, okay? And also recall your past experience and accomplishment. Take a look at your resume before you go to the company. You may think about that, which the points or experience in your resume relate to that job. So before you go to interview, remember screaming your resume. Don't forget what you already wrote in your resume, okay? Remember, all the information you wrote in your resume should be true. Don't make it up, because if you make it up, the company catch up, you will get a lawsuit. Seriously, okay? So any experience you have, oh, by the way, including the time as well. I let you to mark the date for that job. The day should be the period of the time that you work. Don't make it out or make it longer something, okay? So whatever you wrote in your resume should be the true things, okay? So recall your past experience and accomplishment, or review a list of the typical interview questions, and dress in appropriate business attire, okay? So do you know how to dress, right? Hopefully? Okay. Okay. But you don't need to wear very officially. Semi casual, or it's not very tight and have a, yeah, busy schedule is okay, okay? If you're in the summertime, you wear the long sleeve and have a tie, you will sweeping, a lot, and you will look very messy, okay? So, and where you are not, you will feel unstable and unwell prepared. So, business casual will be okay for your interview. And here, arrive at least 10 minutes. I will say that if you are not sure how far, from your home to the company, you should arrive there. You expect 30 minutes will be appropriate, not 10 minutes. 10 minutes is too short. Maybe around, even in the textbook about 10. But usually I will say that 20 minutes or 30 minutes will be okay. Because you go there, you can observe something to see about this company, about the culture, and how the people, and get the topic. When they ask you, what is your first impression about this company? You may not answer, I don't know, I just come here. No, I don't know, I just come here. I did not really observe something in your company, okay? You should come here earlier, okay? And to see how the company's work environment and how the people dress up, and how the daily routine situation, so you can see what's the culture about this company, all right? And then make eye contact with the people. The eye contact. I have students when they are interviewed, right? They always have look at the ceiling. When they answer, they keep looking, eye contact with the ceiling. When end of the question, they look at you. Okay, so very, very strange. The way I'm doing that, if you have a lot of interviewers, how can you get eye contact? I will find out the one person, the interviewers, some looks friendly, some are not. I know I'm not the one that you feel I'm friendly, okay? But when I have very nervous, I will target the one interviewers looks friendly to me, looks like a friendly, but maybe not really friendly, the true friendly, but the face, he or she looks like friendly, and I will have eye contact with him or her only. And is that the right way? There's a strategy I use. Okay, or the professor that you are really interested in, that you will have eye contact. Remember, the score will be higher.
When I have eye contact with Dr. Ye, she just ignore me. And she's so angry. I don't know why.
She?
Because she don't smile.
She don't smile? But now you don't feel that she is a very talkative and friendly professor. Yeah. Remember when you go to the interview, the interviewers, I have a student do the thesis. It's about HRD. If HR will, HR will representative the company, right? If you have a bad experience with HR, even the branding is very famous. Do you like this company? The HR representative is like the door god, right? How it look like will be this company. If you feel bad about this company, then you may not. You will affect that the people will join this company or not. That is very interesting. The topic is in my past students. He do this kind of the thesis. So the first impression. The interviewee Scotty is from HR. So how do you prepare and play the role of the professional? Okay, is important. So I tell myself, when the people come to interview, I should be friendly and kindly to the students. Yeah, that is a kind of the culture in in this program. How you treat the student is also how the people feel that, this is a very international environment, in this department, I think that is a common sense that I should do that. Okay, so the eye contact should be the nonverbal language. Okay. So only one finger to touch the screen. Okay, I got it. All right. Then make a polite conversation. Oh, by the way, I know a lot of students like to do this way. Do not apologize about or make a reference to the lack of experience or potential flaws. All the Taiwanese students like to say, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't have experience. I am sorry is that you did not get the fault. If you say I'm sorry that you get the fault, but actually lack of experience is not your fault, right? But because they translate from the Chinese to the English, so they will say, I am sorry something. If you say sorry that you know, you recognize that is yours, then you will say, I am sorry. You will say, okay, I think that I do not have a relevant experience about something, and I recognize that is my weakness. But don't say, I am sorry. This is not a good term to use, common. Because in Taiwan, we always say, 不好意思. As a Taiwanese, we always like to say, 不好意思 in the first sentence. 不好意思 means that I feel sorry. Okay, excuse me. But they like to say, sorry, excuse me, they're confused. So if I want to pass, they will say, I'm sorry. You have to say, excuse me, right? But they say, oh, I'm sorry, sorry, sorry. And they are going to pass, you know. They use it.
I said, I'm sorry sometimes.
And sometimes you say sorry. Yeah. But we will say, that, excuse me, you know, you are going to pass. But the Taiwanese always like to say, I'm sorry, 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 sorry. Okay? So you have to use the right language to express that how your situation, okay? And also be yourself. Always stress the positive. So do not assume the employee, oh, right, this is important. Do not assume that the employer will read your resume. Believe me, they may not really find the file and read your resume until you get the second interview. The manager, department manager will be very serious to consider you as a candidate. They will check your resume. But for first interview, okay, they may not read your resume. So remember, if you want to get a more high impression, you know, from the interviewers, then make the copy of your resume. Bring the hard copy with you, okay, to go to the company. How many pieces of the resume you should prepare? 1, 2, 3? No more than 3, okay? The first time, don't black and white. If you want to prepare, you should have a color print. Except that you only have black and white, then you should have a black and white copy.
Oh, you mean like picture?
Yeah, of course. If you have your picture or your color design for your resume. Okay, what kind of color I should add it for my resume? Okay, if you have a color, something your pictures, right? And then you should have a color print. Don't want to save the money, okay? Just, I can afford the black and white only. You should prepare the color print. Okay? That is, you spend, they will, by the way, the main reason you prepare the resume is that to help the interviewers to find the question from your resume. So this is the strategy I like to use because they may not ask the open question out of your control. So if you prepare your resume, hang in, then they will, quickly look at, read your resume, and they will find the question to ask you. So that is the strategy to use. So bring your resume with you because don't expect they will read your resume. When they don't read the resume, you may not say, huh? You don't know? What? Don't be like a surprising face to them, because that is a normal. They don't read your resume. Do not ask about the salary and the benefits in the first interview, right? Okay. Money important, but not in the first interview. All right, then, common question. Could you tell me something about yourself? So that will be the first question. I like you to prepare the 5. And remember, for the next week, we have a practice. Each of the group should including that the 5 common interview question to ask the interviewees. So first one, could you tell me something about yourself? Remember, cover letter should including this question as well. So think about 3 points, okay? So you should prepare 2 to 4 mini summary of your professional and also your academic background. That will be relevant highlighting, okay? So this will be about yourself. Then the second, what are you interested in this position? So you see, it's very common. Why you are interested in this position? How you can get the information, job description, right? Also the related, friends working in the company, you may get some related about this information. Or ask about your senior. If you have a LinkedIn, okay, then you can contact the people over there to know something about the position. But if not, actually, I strongly suggest you to ask about this in the open question. But why are you interested in the position? I think the answer may not be perfect because you are not on board. Actually, you cannot answer very perfectly. So remember, just say, I expect it or I assume something. Okay, don't use a very strong, but you say, I am very high interest because I assume that the position will be do something else. Okay, so that is the way you respond to this one. Oh, by the way, could you tell me about the last job? If you have no job, that's okay. But if you really have a last job, for example, the student always like to be the English tutor, okay, or English teacher. And I think that that's your past experience, but it's good job. So think about that. Even you are the English tutor or English teachers in Taiwan, or you have experience related about English teaching, you may think about that. What you learned it or experience you learned it from English teacher and related to your job, this job. For example, I'm the English teacher. I am the English teacher, but I have I observe and I know I can communicate with the kids in the way that to talk to the kids. So I learned something from my past experience, and now if I do the HR job, I think I can do something. But if you have no experience about work, you may say, okay, I study in IHRD department. I learned how to communicate. Also, I recognize the culture different, blah, blah, blah. So, try to find some experience you get it from the last job or the experience that you have. Don't complain, okay, your supervisor. They know each other, right? Or it's not quite good in the say bad words behind the people. So don't complain your previous manager. Don't complain the company, the last company as well. You say, okay, the company I like it, but the supervisor treat me very well. But I want to learn some new things. Or I think that I end up this intern, so I want to find an official. So find the reasons, excuse that it's not affect to your last job and also the company, okay? And also, by the way, this is a very Western culture, but you always like to say what is accomplishment I did, right? Very Western culture. They will say.
It depends on like the context in the company. If they're asking you for certifications, like for me, since I just got my emergency management certification, I would say, all right, I just got my certification to manage disasters, so this is an accomplishment I have. But if they don't ask for it, you don't tell it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think that, it's still based on the different. But, in the resume, I can see that in the Western culture, they always like to have, what's the performance ID, what's the accomplishment ID for this company, especially they want to want to search for very higher position. They want to see the accomplished outcome they have,
Yeah, it's true, but it does make sense from the standpoint of you have two very accomplished graduates, like they went to the same college, same major, really good GPA and grades. What makes them different? Maybe had a better work performance than the other. So then you list that.
Similar. Yeah, okay. So if you do some accomplishment, then you may say something, okay? But not too strong, say, I did that by myself. You may say that it's like, she said that it's a teamwork, so that we work together. I will be not the main position to deal with this the project something, but I have a strong support my team to accomplish something. Okay, so and it's a good idea to avoid focus on negative aspect of your previous position. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Don't take about too negative stuff. Okay. All right. Oh, by the way, they will call the reference. They will reference back to the company. I often get a phone call. That's truth. In Taiwan. Okay. They will call you. If you put me in the reference, you have to contact. If you really want to put the people in your reference, remember to remind the people that I'm going to put you in my reference, and you should be sure that have a positive impression about you, okay? They will call back to refer you about your school's learning and something, okay? So remember, watch out. All right, so why would you describe a weakness, okay? As I say that, you have to use the weakness and become the strength. Think about one or two. And this is very common question to ask about your weakness. Oh, my weakness is I am very high anxious. So every day I feel anxious that I cannot finish my job. So I become anxious. But I will prepare everything, done before I go to sleep. So that the manager will like these people because they are responsible. Weakness will become the positive, right? They will say, oh, you are a responsible person, and you will well prepare. So you know yourself and how you prevent, how do you, defend that kind of the weakness. All right, then your future goal, don't tell them, okay, 5 years later, I want to pursue my PhD. Nobody knows, 5 years ago, I'm going to marry. So funny. Don't do that. You can say, I'm not definitely sure my future goal for 5 years, but I have 2 or 3 years goal that I'm going to learn something. Okay, don't tell them, in the future. Nobody can expect 5 years later what you are going to do. All right? Nobody can handle that, right? So, so just tell I'm not to know my long term because nobody can, to know about the future. But for my short term future goal, I'm going to do something. For example, I have a less experience HR. I'm the very pure student. I get my master's degree, but the weakness about myself is that I do not have a strong experience in HR. So that's why I want to take this job, and I think that I can learn something in your company. So if I know some of you only have education background and also no HR experience, but it doesn't it doesn't mean that you cannot get a HR job. Okay, I know some of you already know about your weakness, but remember how to switch your weakness to be positive. Okay, so that will be why you want to find a job. I believe most of the company manager will know that, because everybody goes through this process. No experience, just learn from the school and want to find the first job. So far, I don't see that the student without any HR experience, they cannot get a good job. Okay, so that will be the question 5. Only one hand. Do you have any question for us? Okay, that is what I'm saying, that open question. So you have to look at, you have to think about what the question you want to ask. Any experience? Caesar, do you have any experience?
With a question. Usually what I ask is like similar with Tiffany. It's also like more about the job, because like in the Philippines, the culture is different. The more that you ask about the job, they will be more impressed. So that's why we ask that. So like we ask for in terms of the future of, or like similar with this, the project, or maybe like the position that I'm looking at, for example, for promotions. I can ask about the job itself, then the promotion, and then at the same time, the culture of the company.
Yeah, okay. So it's more related to the job. Yeah, I think that is more appropriate to ask about this. Sometimes they may not tell you exactly their career planning, for this position. Nobody knows. But you can say that you have the success plan, something in your company, or what is the promotion strategy, or do you have any the training provide to the employee something. So you may ask about something you are interested about this company. Okay. So now uncommon question. I will move to the discussion. What time it is?
10:19。
所以是该休息了吗？对吗？ Oh, it's overtime. 哦，好。Okay, it's overtime for our first hour. We take a short break, 10 minutes. So come here around 10:30. Okay, 10:30. We will go through the interview question discussion. But if you have time, go to take a look over there. After this session, we will move on to the promotion. All right? Okay, take a break.